live from the Zimbabwe Agriculture Show, and we are so much excited to be joined by the team from Potraz, the Postal Telecommunications. Straight on my right, we've got Taylor, that's the PR manager of Potraz, and also we are joined with my mother from the Consumer Awareness. I think it's best you also introduce yourself and your post.
I'm Hilda Mtseko. I'm the Director Economics, Tariffs and Competition.
Thank you so much for taking your time to join us right here at the Harare Agriculture Show. I'll start off with you back, Ms. Mtseko. We are here at the Harare Agriculture Show, and one of the major issues that I fully understand that Zimbabweans want to know and fully understand are consumer-related issues. What do you stand for? What do you really do for these consumers as a part of your mandate?
I think you've seen on our logo, on our brochures, saying that consumers are at the heart of Potraz Week. Whatever we do at Potraz, be it technical, economic, postal, we are doing it for the benefit of the consumer.
What are the usual general complaints that usually come across from the people, from the consumers, so to say?
The main or the most issue that we receive is on data, airtime disappearance. Yeah. And I think it's arising more because of ignorance or not enough information being shared with consumers on how to manage their devices and how to manage the applications that they subscribe to.
Interesting. So from your understanding, you would say most of the times the consumers are not managing their devices and they're blaming the mobile networks themselves?
Not necessarily that. I'm saying the consumers need to be educated more on the use of their devices and on how to manage the applications that they subscribe to. Because most of the time, these applications, when they do updates, they consume data, which depletes their airtime balances.
There was an outcry last few years on disappearing airtime. Have you managed to go down with this issue? Do we have any mobile networks that have been found to be on the wrong side? Is people alleged, or how was this issue resolved?
Not really, but I think operators are doing their best to assist the subscribers on educating them on how to manage their devices and what happens when these applications are updated. They consume airtime, yes, in the background, and so some operators have even gone so far as to put in place some mechanisms that would assist subscribers to manage their airtime.
Interesting. And I think just to add a little bit on that, I understand that also as a subscriber, there are things like your background applications that you may also need to disable if you are not going to be using them, or you can as well, I think specifically for iPhone, you can actually select what applications are you not going to be using before you even go ahead and blame a mobile network to say, well, my airtime has been stolen. And at least just do a little bit of due diligence to say, well, have I managed to deactivate? Join with us as well here at the Harare Agriculture Show is Mtewa, PR manager. Once more again, thank you so much for taking your time to join us here.
Thank you, Tony.
Right, what's happening here? I understand that there's been a lot of traffic for the past few days at the Agriculture Show. What are you doing here? What are you showcasing at this Agriculture Show?
Well, I think as you may be aware that, Potraz's mandate is to regulate the postal and telecommunications sector. And one of our major mandates is also to focus on consumer issues like Mrs. Mtseko has just mentioned. So what we have been doing here is that we've been interfacing with our consumers, addressing issues that are of very importance to them in terms of what they can do to interface with the regulator, and also the different aspects of regulation.
Let's speak about that regulation and you being a regulator. Some people have never heard of Potraz, or they have a different understanding of Potraz. Who are you really and what do you stand for? What you really do as Potraz? We need to fully understand. Or maybe what I thought you guys do, you are not really doing that. Are you the guys who arrest the mobile networks? What do you do as a regulator exactly?
Our job is to, number one, first and foremost, is to issue licenses to service providers or operators in the postal and telecommunications sector. That's the first thing that we do. It's also to allocate adequate spectrum, which is Masaisai or Amakakasi in Ndebele, to service providers to use in the telecommunications sector to provide services to all Zimbabweans, regardless of their location or income. That is, because there are some people that actually think that communication services are only privy to people that can afford those services, or people that have money to have those services. We are also there to make sure that we provide a balanced act, or a level playing field for service provision in the postal and telecommunications sector, and also to make sure that there is a fair competition within the sector. So this is what we've been communicating with our service providers here that have been visiting, also with consumers as well that have been visiting us. And I think, as my colleague Mrs. Mtekwa mentioned earlier on, there's been a lot of outcry in terms of consumer issues, and they have been going around in different provinces, educating and creating awareness to consumers who would ordinarily not be able to get to Potraz, because we are located in Harare. So most people actually don't have access to us. So we have been going to the people as an organization to go and interface and educate and create awareness to basic issues.
We have hundreds who are watching you, or thousands. How do they contact you if someone has a complaint, someone is not happy? How do these people get in touch with you as a regulator?
We have our toll-free number, 0800 4303. 0800 4303. That's what our toll-free number is. We also are on email, the.regulator@potraz.gov.zw, or they can call us on the normal lines in Harare, 333-032. So that's what we do. We are on Facebook as well, and we are on Twitter, and we also have a website. So I think we basically have a lot of communication tools that we provide to the people of Zimbabwe to communicate with us as a regulator.
Okay, just before we quickly wrap it up, the issues of quality of service. I understand that Potraz was acquiring such equipment so that there is monitoring of quality of service, so that people will not continuously cry and say they did that or you did that. Where are we towards that advancement so far?
I think Mrs. Mtekwa will respond to that. She's been part of the team that has been working on that.
Yes, we've acquired a state-of-the-art quality of service monitoring equipment, and we are monitoring the quality of service, and operators are being penalized accordingly.
Oh, it's actually functional?
Yes, it's functional, and we already we've penalized some of the operators for not delivering on the targets.
Interesting. How long has this been in implementation?
Oh, we've been having this system in operation since a year ago, more than a year ago now.
How is the operators, how have they received this? Have there been any changes as far as quality of service and delivery is concerned?
Yeah, since now that we are penalizing them, they are improving. But as you are aware, there are some challenges to do with the foreign currency shortages, which affects their ability to maintain and acquire spare parts for the networks. But still, that's not a good excuse. That's not an excuse for poor quality of service.
All right, great.
Yes, I think I think as she said, we are on top of the situation. We have been penalizing, and we are looking forward to pushing the quality of service issue further as a regulator. That's what we are here for. So we believe that you'll see more as the years go by, and I think after the penalization of of the service providers, I'm sure you've seen a marked improvement in terms of service provision and quality of service, through across all service providers.
Was it just out of interest, did the service providers, the mobile networks, did they also agree to say, well, we have heard and we agree with what has come out of, or it was a contentious issue, so to say?
It can't be a contentious issue because it's monitored and measured, and all the evidence will be there for everyone to see that they did not deliver on the targets. So nobody can argue as to whether they failed or what. The evidence will be there to see because there are machines that are measuring what is happening in the networks.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll take you back right here at the Harare Agriculture Show. Just before we wrap it up, we need to understand, what should people expect here when they come in, when they walk here? What should people expect? What should people look out for? What can you say to our viewers?
Well, to all the viewers, you expect to get an in-depth discussion with Potraz on what it is that we do. I know that this program is not long enough for us to actually break down what it is that as a regulator we are doing, but we've given you a snippet. But you'll be able to see what we are doing in the rural areas to extend the networks to rural areas through the Universal Services Fund. We are also looking at community information centers, which I think a lot of people have seen in rural areas that we are rolling out. And most of the CICs have been launched by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. You will also be able to see ICT innovations that are here at our stand at Harare Agricultural Show. You'll be able to see what we are doing in terms of internet governance here at our stand. So there's plenty to see. There's also plenty of promotional materials, t-shirts, hats, for you to then take away home and remember Potraz about that. We are looking at also the postal and courier services sector, which I know a lot of people believe that it's dead, but it's not. We are using ICTs to enhance postal and courier services sector services. So you will be here to see what we are doing in terms of using ICTs to enhance the postal and courier services sector. They are getting more efficient and better services, and with e-commerce coming into play, we are hoping to see even a significant growth in the next few years in that sector. Yes.
Interesting. Thank you so much for taking this time. I know that many of us, they will think that Potraz is yet another toothless bulldog. Well, we can safely say that we know that one or two of these mobile networks operators have managed to receive a little bit of a bite as far as the penalties are concerned. Watching us live from www.techmec.tv, all of them, to be correct on record, all of them have been penalized so far as not being able to deliver enough quality of service according to the standards. Catching us live from www.techmec.tv, from me, Tony Rutsito, and the crew behind the cameras, we thank you so much. We'll be joining you straight from the Harare Agriculture Show official opening, where His Excellency President Robert Gabriel Mugabe is expected to be officially opening. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us right here.
Thank you, Tony.